Nintendo World has officially opened its doors inside Universal Studios Hollywood, and thanks to my friends at Universal Studios Hollywood and Nintendo, I had an amazing opportunity to check out the park last week, the day before it officially opened. For many, including myself, Super Nintendo World is a dream come true. The fact that a Nintendo theme park actually exists is like mind-blowing in and of itself. I'm gonna admit, I nearly cried when I walked in. From Peach's Castle to Toadstool Cafe to Mount Beanpole to the Thwoom Piranha Plants and Goombas everywhere to Bowser's Castle and the main attraction, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, the attention to detail everywhere that you go in Super Nintendo World is unbelievable. It is simply stunning. I was also surprised by how much there is to do in the park, how many secrets there are, and all the Easter eggs that are hidden about. You never know what you're gonna bump into here. So since I did the majority of what there is to do while I was out there in the park, I thought I would create this travel visitor's guide type video with 5 things that you should know before you visit Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. Consider me your guide to the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's get this show on the road. So the first thing I know that a lot of people want to know about are the power-up bands. Power-up bands can be used throughout Super Nintendo World to collect coins, keys, stamps, and uncover secrets throughout the park. They make it feel a lot like you're in a real-life Mario game. These bands are really cool, and at the moment they feature Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, and Daisy. If you plan to get one of these power bands, you're also going to need to download and pair it with the Universal Studios app on your smartphone. Here you can also view the stamps that you've collected, view your rank, your high score, how many coins you've collected, and much more. If you plan to get multiple power bands, you can also create different profiles for different characters. What's neat is that these bands can also be used as amiibo with your Switch, so they serve multiple purposes as well. These power bands add a lot to the experience at Super Nintendo World. However, what a lot of people don't know is that they are not needed to enjoy the park. They're cool to have, yes, and you're gonna get more out of the park when you go, but you don't need to pick one up to enjoy your time at Super Nintendo World. The next thing to be aware of is that Super Nintendo World is filled with secrets. Like I said earlier, Super Nintendo World is a lot like being in a real-life Mario game, and Mario games are filled with hidden secrets, so it's only fitting that that carries over here. When you go to the park, be sure to look up and look around everywhere that you go. You never know what you're gonna find. Tap your power-up band on the hidden areas on the walls, hit all the blocks that you can because you may find more than just coins, and while you're roaming around doing that, keep a careful eye on the sky because you may spot some little Pikmin that are hidden up above. One of the most detailed areas in Super Nintendo World though is Bowser's Castle. Walking through the castle on your way to Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is literally an experience in itself. Not only is the castle beautifully put together, but it's also filled with Easter eggs and references to your favorite Mario games. I don't want to give too much away, but as an example, make sure to look up in one of the main rooms. You're gonna see a cool nod to Super Mario Galaxy. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled everywhere that you go in Super Nintendo World because there are some real fun surprises out there. The third thing that you should know about is Toadstool Cafe. You probably know about the cafe already, but did you know that the food here is delicious? I would say Toadstool Cafe was my second favorite thing in Super Nintendo World. I would put it just behind exploring around Bowser's Castle. Not only was the cafe itself incredible on the inside, but the food that I ate while I was there was just as incredible. I tried the Superstar Lemon Squash, the Princess Peach Cupcake, the Mount Beanpole Cake, the Fire Flower Spaghetti and Meatballs, and the Superstar Chicken Salad. I enjoyed every single bite of everything that I tried. It was all so tasty and rich with flavor. Chef Toad knows a thing or two about cooking up a great meal. If you're planning a visit to Super Nintendo World, you have got to make it a point to stop by Toadstool Cafe and give it a try. The food here is just oh so good. Second to last, the next thing that you should know about is the Super Mario merchandise shop called the 1UP Factory. Super Nintendo World is full of exclusive merchandise that you can only find right here at Universal Studios Hollywood. From those power bands that I was talking about earlier to super cool plushies, figures, posters, shirts, and more, there's some really cool merchandise to be found at the 1UP Factory. While I was there, I picked up a Mario and Toad power-up band, a really cool Chef Toad figure and plushie because I think they're just really unique, a Mario and Lakitu keychain plush, and an exclusive luggage tag and pin that were only available for the grand opening weekend. One thing to note is that there are multiple Super Nintendo World stores in Universal Studios Hollywood, and there's another one outside the park on the City Walk. If you can't get into Super Nintendo World for whatever reason, the 1UP Factory is not your only option. While they may not have everything, the other stores are still packed with exclusives that you can only find at Universal Studios Hollywood. And last but not least are the games. A lot of people think Super Nintendo World only has Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, but that's not all that there is to do in the park. Like a Mario game, Super Nintendo World has a story to it, and you have to work to complete it. Basically, Bowser Jr. steals the golden mushroom from Princess Peach when you enter the land, and your objective is to get it back. In order to do that, you have to complete and win games to collect keys. There are multiple games in the park like Thwoom Panel Panic, Koopa Troopa Power Punch, Piranha Plant Nap Mishap, and Goomba crazy crank to collect these keys. These games actually require you to put in some good effort to complete. I worked up a sweat doing them. What's neat is that after you beat these games once, you're gonna unlock a harder mode, so there's more of a challenge each time that you play them. After you get 3 keys, you're gonna be able to access Bowser Jr.'s castle, which houses a very fun final boss battle inside. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but this is something that you don't hear much about, and it's something that I had no idea about before I got into the park. A lot of people, including myself before I went to the park, think Super Nintendo World just has Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge to do, but that's not the case. There's a lot of fun to be had outside of that. So there you have it, my friends. Those are 5 things that I think you should know before you visit Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. Once again, I have to send a huge thank you to Universal Studios Hollywood and to Nintendo for this incredible opportunity to go into the park and show you guys all the incredible things that Super Nintendo World has to offer. If you're a Nintendo fan, I guarantee that you're gonna get goosebumps the second you walk through that warp pipe. It's an emotional experience. We've literally dreamt of a Nintendo theme park, and now it is finally a reality. I had a blast during my first time at Super Nintendo World. It was such a fun experience, and I cannot wait to warp my way back there for round 2. If only it was that easy to get back there. So that's about all I got for this video, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did and you liked what you saw, you know the drill. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it always helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to follow at Raymond Strazdas on Twitter and Instagram for much more. Until the next one, I will catch you guys later. Peace!